Kabalekalega abaana b'omuka muli mutya musiibire mutya tukyali ne omwana w'omuka Deo Kasozi still speaking matters concerning Kitara Football Club to be specific, but also Ugandan football and beyond the borders, even international football. We are into a select period, so we might see Kitara maybe buying a foreign footballer and he's playing for the club. They are going on to the continent. Why not? And with the president says money is not their problem, so all that can be sorted. But of recent, let's talk about President of the Community Clubs. In the recent times, the former President, Honorable Moses Magogo Hassan, has been preaching about the community clubs. And if you look at Kitara Football Club, it's one of the best clubs that you think are the suit into that setup. How far or close is Kitara Football Club is to achieving that dream of being a community club, to having fans registering, but also having them feeling that they are part of the club directly?
Thank you very much. I think the enabling law now is in place. You know, the Act provides for community clubs, but also now the regulations are providing for ways of becoming a community club. So I think what the club needs to do is sitting down and putting documentation together to ensure that a community club is in place. And the licensing team I think is also working hard to ensure that this is brought up properly, because now they want to see categories. They want clubs to mention which type of club they are, whether you're a private club, whether you're a community club, whether you're an institutional club, and such a kind of arrangements. Mobilizing and registering a community club is not easy because you need a buy-in of many community members. I think the requirement, if I remember well, the regulation requires at least you must have 100 registered members as members of the club, of which for us we already have more than 2,000 registered fans with full registration. But I think that is also going to be one of our preoccupation, to ensure that the club is a community, depending on the response of the fans this particular season, because this season is action packed. It's a good season that you can benchmark on, because it is going to be having continental football, it's going to be having preparations of the African Cup of Nations. The national team will be visiting the region several times. So from there, it's when now we are going to see now how we are going to tap in ensuring that the club becomes a fully fledged community club, and we shall be able to evaluate the challenges that are there, and then we move ahead, because I believe that community mobilization is very key, and we can get a lot of money, because as a leader of the club, we have done statistics and estimations, and we find that close to 200,000 people in the region are above 30 years. And by statistics, someone above 30 years can be able to buy merchandise. Like you are closing to 30 years, but you buy villa things. So if you have a market of over 200,000 people, if these people are able to buy jerseys alone every season, there will be no club that will compete with Kitara Football Club in the country. But you cannot reach that. You need to move step by step. But what is more important for us, the fans like clubs that are winning. And now we have got a formula to win. We shall be deciding every season whether we want to win or we don't want to win a trophy. And that will be helping us to really harness the full potential of the people in the region. So for me, we've not been having a lot of time, but now the fact that there's a heavy investment in the region, we may have to form departments that are going to be in charge of community mobilization, full community mobilization as full-time staff, and they move across the entire region, and we do branches. And then when the support is full, then we can be able to register fully as a community club. But of course, the stadium is 20,000 seater. If you have registered fans of 200,000, some of them may not be able to watch games. But that's the case in Europe. Like Arsenal, Man U, all the fans cannot watch. It's only registered fans that watch those games, and the others are in the queue waiting for others to die, so that they also get opportunities to enter. And that is coming, I think. because you can see only one game that we had against Buhimba, the whole stadium was full. And we believe that if we have that kind for the next 2-3 years, the club will really have no problem with buying even international players. But also now in the next transfer windows, we have 1 or 2 international players that we are looking at. But we don't want to buy Bichupuli. Okay. Like some of our brothers, the Brazilians, the very old Brazilians. Yeah. We don't want to buy Bichupuli. We wanted a formula of where we would have young players, international players to come here, and then we develop them. But because we are going to win next season, we are going to play to win. So the 2 or 1 player that will come with an international player will be a finished product, and will be helping us to win. So we are going to start testing them, and then we effectively see how they operate.
Okay. And of course, those are those are some of the targets for Kitara Football Club. Maybe a few of the other goals and desires that Kitara Football Club have in the long term. We understand that it's a side that looks to achieve more than just action on the pitch.
Yeah. First of all, in the short term, we want to win trophies every season. That's a short-term target, and achieving it needs a very good squad. So every time you see us competing to win a trophy that particular season, that's short-term. And most of my preoccupation when I joined the club was on winning, so that the people get to know the club properly, and they get to know the club emotionally and the others by winning trophies. And that is one of my preoccupation in the short run. But I believe that in the next 2 years, after 2 years from now, we are going to put up a system that is going to make us win consecutively, maybe for more 5-6 years, without having to bring in finished products. But in the next 2 years, the focus is on the winning. So most of the people that we'll be bringing in will be for winning. We want to first win, and then we stabilize, and then we build. Like you've seen your team, Villa, I think they like building so much. But we want to build and retain. We don't want to build and the people go. I think Viper has done it well, where they build a squad and it remains for long. So for us, in the short run, we want to win. In the long run, we want to develop a very formidable team. And that is going to be attached to a school as well. We intend to have a school for the team, and we shall have now to build players from that school as they migrate into the senior team. And then when we do that, it will be very difficult for any of the teams coming to Hoima to get results from there. Okay. And that's a good thing really for the game, for the region and the country at large. But most importantly, we need to harness on the money that is at the continent. Okay. It will help us. So we'll be targeting to win domestically every year, and then getting into the group stages, and perhaps trying quarterfinals later on, when we think that, going for quarterfinals or going for group stages requires a lot of investment, not only in the players but also financially, to ensure that everybody, when they go into the game, they're able to play well. So long term, we want to be big boys at the continent as well. Yeah.
President, AFCON Pamoja 2027 is here, and Hoima, Kitara region, is one of the biggest beneficiaries of this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. How has been the reception in the region for starters? Have the business people, the leadership in the community, and the general public rallied behind this dream?
Incidentally, I'm on one of the subcommittees organizing the African Cup of Nations. I'm on the legal and brand protection for the African Cup of Nations. Oh. And for Hoima people, mainly Kitara people, they are asking for jobs. Okay. They want to be stewards, they want to be volunteers during the festivities of the African Cup of Nations. But for me, the event is going to be close to a month, because 4 teams will be based in Hoima, one group. So the event is a short time event, but it's going to leave a lasting impact, because there's a lot of developments that are going on. You've seen the Kabalega International Airport, the passenger terminal is done, the road accessibility to the airport is done, the hotels are coming up. Ideally, everybody is very happy in the region, and most people have been misbehaving, have reduced the misbehavior because they don't want to die, and when they have not watched the African Cup of Nations. But it's going to be very difficult, honestly, for many people to enter the stadium to watch these games, because one, the games I think most likely should be a bit expensive because the stadium is a 20,000 seater. But of course, some of us, it is automatic that we shall watch the games. But the benefits are already being seen. The road network has improved, the hotels have improved. But for me, I'm looking at the future, that after the African Cup of Nations, all these facilities must be able to be used. But I have to tell you that all the people who are prepared will benefit from the hosting of the African Cup of Nations. And that is going to be just the beginning, I think. Even school competitions, African school competitions, world school competitions can easily be hosted now. Even other international tournaments, because the facilities will be available and it will be very good for the people. So generally the whole region is on Gunkenke to host the African Cup of Nations, and as some of the leaders who have been to other African Cup of Nations, like we're in Morocco, we shall have to try to replicate what happened in Morocco, and the people benefit from the African Cup of Nations.
Within the same lines, how is Kitara Football Club preparing to partake or be part of the AFCON 2027 in terms of technical support, maybe infrastructure, and also funding in case it is there?
Thank you very much. I think the African Cup of Nations is a full package now, and the total funding has already been committed by government. Government has already released money to CAF for all the activities. The budgets are already approved, so I don't think that the government will need a lot from Kitara in terms of finances, but they need manpower in terms of volunteers. So we want our funds, they will have to be trained. We want our funds to work during the event, because there will be many funds coming to Hoima and the region at large. So our funds must position themselves as guides to the people, as stewards, as volunteers. That's what I think we are going to support more. But we also want to see that this season we deliberately sign 2 or 3 players who can easily be seen to partake in the African Cup of Nations on the national team. So some of the players that we may sign, we want whether they can be able to be, maybe if we get 1 or 2 people in the national team, the final national team, that will also boost the funds of Kitara Football Club to partake so much in the activities. I know the watching is mainly going to be VIP because of the size, but there will be screens all over the town where we can watch some of these games. And I pray that Uganda also plays a game maybe there, because as you saw in Morocco, teams were not playing in only one stadium. You remember Uganda played in 2 stadiums. The last game against Nigeria, we played over 200 kilometers from Rabat in Fez. So if Uganda does very well here and then bring a game to Hoima, but maybe economically it may not be viable. Nambola is bigger, but we would be happy to have a game played in Hoima for Uganda Cranes, because that way then the fans would fill up the stadium. But these other games as well, the fans are many. I think if we have very good teams, which I think we shall have, because each group stage has a better team, has a very strong team. These teams in the World Cup, one of them should be in Hoima. So, but most importantly, me as a football person, I want us to organize well as a country, so that at least we go into the quarterfinals, or we go even up to the semi-finals. We remain in the tournament for some good time, so that we succeed properly.
We understand that Kitara Football Club have their home ground as the Royals Park in Butema, Hoima. Do you have any plans in the future to use Hoima State Stadium as the hosting ground for Kitara Football Club, because it's more accessible, especially for those in the Hoima city? Is there any plans?
Yeah. I think Kitara Football Club Stadium in Butema is good for the the league games, and we have asked the federation actually to give us machines to see how we improve the playing surface, where many teams in Kampala have been complaining that we beat them because the surface is not playable, but we come here and we also eliminate them from Chitenda and Njeru. Is there also an even surface in those particular two places? Those are carpets. Those are very good surfaces. It is always, but it is always good to listen if the general football fraternity are saying we need to do an improvement on the playing surface. That's what we are doing right now. I've just been approving funds there to do some bits of improvement. So we don't intend to do a lot on that stadium, by the way, because we are anticipating to have a lot of grounds in the region. We're anticipating to have a training ground in Masindi. There's a training ground at Iboma. There are some at Satito, and all those are very good playable areas. But as I said earlier, the club intends to start using that stadium really in the other season, not next season. Next season we shall entirely be at Butema, but after next season, when African Cup of Nations is done, we intend to vehemently agitate and discuss with the National Council of Sports to ensure that we have our games played in the stadium, so that it is not left as a white elephant. Even training, all the training pitches in Hoima. And if there is any other club that comes up, we can also be able to utilize those facilities together.
President Deo Kasozi, you are among the people that have the biggest voices in the country, especially in the football fraternity. Beyond the infrastructure, where else do you think the government can help the football industry? One of the biggest industries you think that has the potential to generate more revenue for the country?
My honest opinion is for Uganda to have a very competitive team, one, the government must invest heavily in 2 or 3 teams. Invest heavily in 2 or 3 teams. That is not being personal, because when you say 2 or 3 teams, maybe you would be talking about Kitara. But if I'm to be nationalistic, the government should invest in the 2 best teams. Perhaps you could invest in the UPDF and police and maybe Maroons, so that a pool of all national team players remain in the country. If you have around 80 players in those 3 teams, and they are all national team material, even we can be able to add in competition. The government can even buy players from Nigeria, from Ghana, from everywhere. 1, to first make the league competitive, and then 2, to ensure that all the good players remain in the country. And when these good players remain in the country, Uganda will be extremely very competitive. That's what I think can be done to improve the game here. But now, in the absence of government doing that, for us as private people, we are going to continue beating the institutional teams seriously, and also other teams that are not organized properly shall be beating them. But also the competition is still not high in Uganda, because most of our good players normally leave immediately because of the pay which is here. I believe there is no team here that pays more than 10 million a player. When a league like Rwanda and South Sudan can pay, Media has been earning more than $5,000 per month. That's 20 million. But here, you pay 5 million and someone is thinking that that's a lot of money. So we have a very big problem in retaining talent here. Even our young boys of under 17, they run very fast because there is no good money here. But if government has invested heavily in the 2 teams, if UPDF has 15 billion budget and the police has 15 billion budget, you can even pay salaries equivalent to Rwanda and South Sudan. And then we shall retain the talent here. Then our national team will be strong. Look at Tanzania. They have Simba and Yanga, and they heavily invest in them. And you saw how they disturbed us at the continent. Besides, of course, we have a very good history against them. That's why we're about to win them when Okello missed the penalty. But in terms of the league, they are in the top 10. And that's why you see their teams do not play preliminaries. They just go into the group stages because of that advantage. So Uganda, in terms of talent, Even our brothers of Tanzania, they know we are better than them. But in terms of investment in the software of the players, Tanzania is far ahead of us. But I've been discussing this with a number of top football planners in the country, and I believe that when we move ahead, we can be able to do that. So that is not necessarily that Kitara is doing that. But once government does not do that, for us as private investors, we can do that. And you have a composition of the national team players remaining in our teams. Remember, we had 4 players in Chan the other time, and that is just organizing them in 1 year. But if it is a deliberate policy by government and they do 2 or 3 teams here, Uganda will be able to outsmart many African teams.
Okay. Well, our time is fast spent, but President, you said in one of your submissions that when you came to Kitara Football Club, when you came back for your second reign at Kitara Football Club, the money problem was solved. Does that mean that you are the money for Kitara Football Club, and how are you working hard to make sure that that problem does not resurface once again?
No, incidentally, most of the African teams or Ugandan teams, they need a strong man. A strong man in terms of how they're able to sacrifice for the team, but also have mobilization capacity to have the team generate its money. If you look at the money that I believe that we have already generated now, it's more than 500 million now as I talk, which you already know. Because if CAF is giving us 350, we expect to have a home game, a confederation game, that is over 150 million. That's already 500 million. That's money generated already, 500 million shillings. But it has not just come by accident. It's because of preparation and then working very hard. So for me, I believe that clubs can be able to generate their own money, but there is need for people to first invest in. Then when they invest in, the clubs can be able to generate their own money. So I believe that I have been instrumental in supporting the club financially, but I have not been alone. I've been having a lot of people who have been bringing in money. But now we are about to start resting. Because you can see if I have already 500 million, which is direct money, even I can ask the bank to advance us that money, and then we pay them as we are moving ahead. I believe that with the infrastructure that is there now, the issue of finances coming from individuals is going to be history, and then there's going to be even profits to start being made by the club.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because he has some money, hopefully.
No. I've said we have generated money, and that money is for the team, by the way.
For the team.
The money is for the team. It is not a lot of money, but it helps you. Any money in football in Uganda is very important, and the government is also giving us money. I think the budget they passed money. So if we receive close to 270 million a year, Kitara will be starting on over 1 billion shillings before even touching anywhere. So it means that it will be extremely very competitive, but we can get more if we organized. And I think the former president has been talking about football making its own money. That is the way he has been talking about. Because now, for example, we don't have replica jerseys right now, but the demand is very high. So we made orders. When they come, people are able to sell, to buy immediately. And we've been having a challenge, of course, in them coming in. But I have high hopes that with the investments that are being made in Bunyoro, we are going to be selling a lot. We expect to be generating maybe 500 million shillings in the same every season. And that will go a long way, stopping us from touching our pockets, really.
You spoke about developing talent, and I remember Biaruhanga came from Kitara FC junior side and promoted to the bigger side. But 3 matches, the Kitara FC junior team doesn't show up. They don't own a fixture.
Not 3 matches.
Hey, how many?
I think they have missed a game against Express, the under 17. Incidentally, I have not been so much in touch with under 17. It has a different manager. But when they told me that they had missed a game, I think that time I was abroad. I saw it in social media. I didn't know that they had missed a game. So I had to ask the management that was around what had happened, really, for them to miss a game. It was unfortunate. But incidentally, the under 17s right now, they are not booming so much in the country, and I had not put a lot of efforts in them. I normally look at the senior team. But you saw the girls team managed to get promoted. I was told about the girls team, how they are doing. I was mainly concentrating on the senior team. They told me they were doing very well. They just needed support to be promoted. And I think in a span of like a month, I gave them support and they were promoted. So our team, I think, played yesterday in Arua. They went to play against Calvary, so the under 17. But as I have told you, my target was mainly winning, and even the next 2 years is winning. So I have not been building so much. I wanted to first win so that the people know that we have the formula of winning, and then we go back into building now for sustainable winning now. So you don't get worried so much. We are going into that area, and we shall be punishing your team properly.
Before Mr. Deo Kasozi gives us his parting shots to the Kitara FC fans, let us go into the quick fire. It's going to be a quick one, so we're just giving us a direct answer. Who were your best 5 players from the Startimes Uganda Premier League that were playing for Kitara Football Club that you enjoyed?
That were playing for Kitara Football Club?
That were not playing for Kitara Football Club. From other teams, 5 players that you enjoyed last season?
I have the same list as you people have.
Do you know
the ones that were not playing, I think, because I watch most of the games. In terms of defense, I think Barasa, is it Barasa? Mangolo of Villa. He played very good football. Then Watambala played very good football. I think everybody knew that man was playing very well. So also there is a player in UPPC, Kigozi, Ambrose, he scored very good goals. Those are 3. Then in terms of goalkeeping, there are 2 goalkeepers who stood out, but all of them were man of the match against us. Chigundu of what? Chigundu of Vipers and then Sebalunyo. They were against us during that time. They did very well. Other defenders that were doing very well, I think the Congolese or Nigerian defender in Vipers also did. He was doing very well. Those were not in our team, but they performed very well. But also in NEC, Seremba performed very well in the first round of the Seremba. We were looking at him when he was still in Kigezi Homeboys. But I think he had a better offer in NEC and we didn't get him, but he also played very well. Then Basangwa, when he moved to NEC, he also played very well. Alan Okello is a very exceptional player. Everyone knows that he's a very exceptional player. And of course now for me, if we are doing signings in the future, such exceptional players cannot miss joining our club in the future. Because we are very good at doing that. Exceptional players to come to our club. If you look at the signings that we make, when we signed Omedi, now Kalema, those exceptional players are good to be in the team because they push. But then Muhammad Shaban, he came in, he had not picked up the first time. If he's able to continue this remaining contract of his, I think he can be able to perform very well. But Alan Okello is a very exceptional player. I think what he needs to do is to get very good marketing abroad so that he goes into the very big leagues in the world, because Tanzania, we are better than them in talent. But when you go there half season and you have cut them and then you almost being the top scorer when you are half season, it means there is a problem in their league a bit. Although the player is exceptional, but it means there is a gap in their league. It means there are no many very good players in their league. Although Alan Okello is exceptional, but I believe that he is very good for Uganda. The advantage is, I think, he's not so much ill-mannered. He doesn't have bad manners so much. I think he can easily go a long way, and then he gets us good results for Uganda. But such a players are very good for teams, really. Yeah.
We saw Hassan Bill going to Tanzania last year. Which teams are you looking
Has he gone? Has he gone?
Yes, he's gone to Azam. So which players are you looking forward to sign from these big teams in the Southern Uganda?
No, this time I was warned by my administration that I don't mention the players early. Previously, I would mention all the players, and the team would have no one to unveil. Me, I thought it was a direct thing, but I was warned seriously by my team players.
Sign any player from NEC?
No, now if I tell you, you'll be able to tell which players. So, but honestly, I have to tell you the truth that the players that we are signing will be from the top 5 teams here in Uganda. So, from Vipers up to the top 5, we shall. I don't know whether we have some players from the lower teams. I think we don't have any from the lower teams. The ones that did not make it to the top 5, we have not got players from there. So we are getting from top 5 and starting from Vipers, KCCA, Villa, and who was number 5? Those top 5 teams. Then the other 2 players will be got 2 or 3 players will not be local players, but it will depend on how the negotiations go. But this time round, FUFA will not get any name from me easily because I was warned that I was diluting some of the things. But me earlier I used to think that it boosts the market when we mention the players we are targeting. But if in the media it's not good, I think, but you should know that the players we are signing will come from those top teams. Yeah.
Your parting shots to Kitara FC fans, and what should they expect?
I want to take this opportunity to thank the FUFA TV for giving me ample time. I think after a long time, I was lost so much. I was much engrossed in ensuring that the product there is seen. Now you saw it. So I want to thank you very much, and the entire fraternity of FUFA, starting from the president of the federation, the committees. You know, I'm vice chair there.
Yes, you are.
In the committees of the federation, and we do some good work there. Do some good work there. Then also I want to thank the entire executive of the federation, Madam Nachiwala, who leads the clubs, and the other executive members. Then most importantly also I want to thank government for the heavy investment they have done in sports, and specifically football in the region. I want to thank them very much, to thank His Excellency, of course, for choosing Hoima as a destination for African Cup of Nations, one for strategic reasons, but also for having Kabalega at heart to have it. Then I want to thank the Minister, the National Council of Sports, and lastly, I want to thank the fans for the heavy support. This season we shall engage you more. Last season we didn't engage you more. You know, when the fans are not engaged, they also sometimes do not come up. So I want to promise the fans that next season we are going to engage you heavily, and I want you to support the team. We are already in high gear. We shall be resuming training before the 10th of July to start preparing for the Confederation Games. I want to thank you very much.
Thank you so much for spending some time and share all that with us. It has been a successful interview, a very insightful one. And one thing is for sure at the end of this interview that I've learned is that you can take a man out of Kitara Football Club, but you cannot take Kitara out of the man. So, and obviously relationships, they say that if someone goes away from you and then they come back, it means they are meant for you. So
but you, how have you learned relationships?
I read the book about relationships. I'm a good reader. But we thank you for being part of today's exclusive. We've been with Mr. Deo Kasozi, the president of Kitara Football Club. Until you see us the next time with another guest, enjoy the rest of your day. Alex Mugarubisima, ciao.